Hi there, this is Sarah Lewakowski. I'm the Executive Director of Mosaic Counseling, and this is for you SHAPE employees. We're going to talk about mental health does not shelter in place. We're going to talk about anxiety and stress right now during the coronavirus. What are some things that we can be looking at? So this pandemic, hey, we are all experiencing. This may be causing some anxiety and stress, even fear in adults and in children. So it's really important to know that this is normal. And it's also important to know that everyone reacts differently to stressful situations. And everyone has their own unique relationships to situations like this. So maybe you know people who are on the front lines, healthcare workers, or people working at a grocery store, people working for the post office, or maybe people who are, in the age group that might be more susceptible to the coronavirus. So, what are some potential reasons for responding more strongly? Being in that higher risk category, having an underlying health risk, being an older adult, healthcare providers and first responders, those essential workers that are working right now while most of us might be at home, people who already have a mental health condition, or people who have issues with substance use, and then children and teens. So, anxiety and stress, it might include fear and worry about the health of yourself or your loved ones, changes in sleep, difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating, changes in eating patterns, worsening of chronic health issues, or self medicating with alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. So, what are some coping and supporting strategies for yourself? So, one of the things we want to talk about right now is taking control. This pandemic has taken control for really for all of us. Things that we used to have control over, we just don't have control over right now. So, some things that we can do for ourselves, taking breaks from watching and reading the news. Because repeatedly hearing about COVID-19, it can be upsetting and scary. Pay attention and take care of your body. Deep breaths, it's so simple, but it really does make a difference. Praying, meditation, just stretching, yoga, and then eating healthy. Right now, we want to boost our immune system. A healthy immune system can help us if we come in contact with someone with COVID-19. Getting plenty of sleep, exercise, and we talk so much right now about socially distancing, but we also want to make a point to socially connect, and journaling. So if you ever have been in therapy talking to a counselor, they may have recommended journaling. And journaling is something that we can easily do right now. Some of us have more time. We're able to do that, and it really helps with kind of streamlining your thoughts. You can only write one word at a time, and can really be something that you take care of yourself. So for SHAPE employees, specifically to you, you can check your Virgin Pulse app website, check SHAPE Web, the SHAPE Fitness Factory Facebook page, great place to get information. And then you can email your well-being team with any questions or concerns that you have. All of these things just for you. So if you have children or teens at home, some things to help for them. So things that you might notice: excessive crying or irritability, maybe being really sad, worrying, behavioral issues, maybe ones that you haven't seen in a while. That could be maybe bedwetting or for potty training, having setbacks, issues, changes in sleep and eating habits, decreased interest in activities that they usually enjoy, and maybe poor school performance, not participating. So even though the schools are physically closed, students do have work and to engage in that way. So maybe you've seen their performance decrease. So what can we do to help them? So the first thing is to deal with our own anxiety. Be mindful of what we're saying to other adults that they overhear. Be mindful of exposure to news. So maybe some households just have the news on all the time. Well, anyone in that house then can hear things, and out of context, that can be really, really scary. We do want to take time to talk and answer questions and reassure fears of children and teens in our household. Structure and routines are really, really important. They're used to having that with school every day. And so it's important to plan out the day. Okay, this is the time for schoolwork. This is the time for some relaxation. This is the time for connecting with peers or getting some physical exercise. And then modeling healthy habits. So we can't expect that of others if we're not doing it ourselves. So modeling those healthy habits, exercise. We have to be more creative right now and realize that they need to communicate with peers. So maybe if there were limitations on talking to peers on social media and friends, maybe allowing more time because they can't see them every day like they used to be able to. And teenagers need that peer, that friend contact. So sheltering in place. So here's some ideas for families with kids. Hey, how about a family book club? Something that everybody's reading together, having time to discuss it. Board games. There's so many great board games out there, and that's something that, especially with technology right now, we just don't do that much of. But, it's a great time to connect. Conversations come out of doing something like that much more naturally than just even sitting down and talking. Going outside, really important. Hopefully, we're going to have warmer weather. It's amazing when the sun shines. But going for walks, maybe a scavenger hunt outside. Activity jar with ideas. So everyone comes up with different ideas, throw into a jar, and then you can draw those out. So the good side of the internet. So many celebrities right now are doing creative things to help entertain and teach. Vendors giving away free guitar lessons. You can see, at least for a week for free, any Broadway musicals, book readings, concerts. If you have young children, and you've read that book 100 times, there's so many different people out there reading books. So, trying to take advantage of those things that are out there. And then for adults, sheltering in place. Hey, happy hour with friends. FaceTiming people that you haven't seen in a long time because we get so busy, reaching out to that friend. There's a game called Quiplash. It's a fun game. This is just one example, but it can be played remotely using Zoom. A book club maybe with weekly Zoom discussions. Museums right now have virtual tours. Hey, organizing that closet drawer or room that you have been putting off. Or maybe all those photos on your phone. You can delete them or upload them. I know personally I have a lot of pictures on my phone of my dogs. Probably don't need that many. I would never have the time normally to delete them, to look through them. But, thinking about, hey, what are some of those things that you just haven't had the opportunity to do that you can do right now? And teletherapy, it's available right now. Teletherapy, just like that picture, you're not meeting with your therapist in person right now, but you can still meet either over the phone, because we have to be more creative right now, or using your computer. And Mosaic Counseling, we are your EAP, your Employee Assistance Program. And while our office is closed right now, the physical office, we're taking phone calls all day long. That 842-9160. We are answering phones. We're doing intakes over the phone. So we don't do them in person right now, but over the phone. And so we still want to give you that special service, and just for you to get you to the right therapist for you. So we have 75 therapists. Almost every single one are doing teletherapy. And then so you can get connected whatever you're dealing with or anyone in your household. And just a note at the bottom, but if you or someone else you know is suicidal, then they should call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Also, right now, because emergency rooms could be more busy with people with symptoms of COVID-19, right now also, and I just read this yesterday, is that Pine Rest and Forest View and Network 180, those are all mental health crisis organizations in Grand Rapids, that they would rather people call them perhaps than go right to the emergency room, just because of the emergency room being so busy, that you can call any of them and get right in. And then here's some more resources for you. Suicide helpline, crisis text line for people who are not going to call somebody, but they just need someone to talk to. So for teenagers, young adults, that's 741-741, that's 24 hours. Also, there's a 24-hour hotline just if you want someone to talk to, and that is actually set up in times of disaster. CareOttawaCounty.com for anything that you might need. So that is if you are looking for food pantries or housing. But this is set up by our foundations in Ottawa County, from the Grand Haven Community Foundation, Holland Zealand, and then United Way. It's a great website to check out. Community Mental Health has an access line, and that number is also right there. And if you have kids, if you want some more tips for talking to them, the PBS has a website with lots and lots of tips. And then also 211. You've probably already heard of 211, but that's the most current health and human service needs for our community, for Ottawa County, Muskegon County, along the lakeshore. You just have to dial 211, or they also have a website. So all of those resources, take advantage if you need any of those. And certainly remember, too, if you just want someone to check in with, you can also call Mosaic. And there's a number again, 616-842-9160. You don't want maybe weekly counseling or biweekly, but you just want to check in with someone, feel free to call. And so again, my name's Sarah Lewakowski. I'm the Executive Director, and thank you for taking the time to listening to this.